Right, so today we're going deep on MCI and beyond,
Okay.
which is a blog all about dementia care.
Sounds interesting.
Yeah, and what's really cool about it is how it mixes like the personal stuff and then also some like harder science.
Uh-huh.
Their most recent post was actually from December 4th, 2024, so pretty recent.
Oh, wow.
We're going to be going through a ton of stuff about dementia care. So
Yeah.
everything from just like practical tips
Yeah.
to like the forefront of dementia research, and then even looking at
Yeah.
like how society and tech
Yeah.
all play a role in dementia care.
So like all the different aspects of it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's pretty multifaceted.
So it's like peeling back the layers,
Yeah.
an onion
I'll
on
get
this
that.
vlog.
Yeah. So we'll start off with something a little bit more personal.
Okay.
So the blog actually has this holiday gift guide for people with dementia.
Oh, cool.
It was published on December 17th. And it's just like, it's nice to see that kind of like
Yeah.
practical advice,
Mm-hmm.
but still like with a lot of compassion behind it.
Yeah, like the human side of it all.
Yeah, exactly. Like even with all the challenges of dementia, there's still room for joy and connecting.
Yeah.
But then we get into some of the more scientific stuff.
Okay.
There are actually 2 recent posts that are all about Ozempic,
Ozempic.
which is a diabetes drug, but they're looking at whether it could benefit dementia patients.
Interesting.
So one of them is in English from December 16th,
Okay.
and then the other one was published in Portuguese on the 19th.
Wow.
Yeah, so they're really thinking about this like globally.
Yeah.
And basically, they're looking at drug repurposing.
Mm-hmm.
So whether a drug that was designed for one condition could maybe help treat another.
Like using what we already have?
Yeah, and the blog post highlights like
Yeah.
some early research that suggests Ozempic might improve cognitive function.
Okay.
But it also really makes it clear that like
Yeah.
more research needs to be done.
Of course.
So it's definitely an open question.
Yeah.
What do you think about that?
Well, I mean, obviously, more research is always needed,
Right.
but I think it's really promising
Yeah.
that something like that could be helpful.
Yeah, I think it's just really interesting. Like,
Yeah.
could a drug that's meant for diabetes actually be the key to treating dementia?
Yeah, for sure.
What are your thoughts on that?
I mean, it's promising, but I think we need to be cautiously optimistic.
Yeah.
Like, the blog does a really good job of presenting a balanced view.
Yeah.
Where they talk about, like, the possible benefits, but then they're also really clear about, like, we need a lot more research before we can say anything definite.
Right.
So I think that's great that they're encouraging their readers to really think critically about this.
Definitely.
Like any big scientific breakthrough, we need to look at it from both sides.
Totally. And they do a really good job of that.
Yeah.
Now, they also talk about this concept called neuroconsciousness.
Neuroconsciousness.
Yeah, and that was in a post from December 4th. And they basically say that it can boost your brain health and maybe even fight dementia. So it's basically like a heightened awareness of your brain's functions and how those impact like your well-being.
I see.
And the blog post actually connects that idea to things like mindfulness
Oh, interesting.
and meditation,
Okay.
and suggests that maybe these practices could play a role in protecting against cognitive decline.
So like taking an active role in your brain health.
Exactly. So it's like being proactive
Yeah.
instead of just like waiting until symptoms show up.
I see.
So it's really fascinating.
Yeah, definitely.
Now, one post that like really surprised me was the one connecting the pineal gland to dementia.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that was from November 18th.
Huh.
Like when you think about brain health, the pineal gland is not the first thing that comes to mind.
Right. It's not like the hippocampus or something.
Yeah, exactly.
What do they say about it?
So basically, they suggest that the pineal gland,
Yeah.
which produces melatonin, might actually play a role in regulating your sleep-wake cycles.
Okay.
And that could potentially impact your cognitive function.
Interesting.
Yeah, so like if your pineal gland is messed up in some way, that could contribute to cognitive decline.
I see.
It's like a reminder that even systems in your body that seem totally unrelated to your brain
Yeah.
can actually have a huge impact on your brain health.
It's all connected.
It really is, yeah.
Wow.
And it's crazy how much we still don't know.
Yeah.
All right, so let's shift gears a little bit and talk about the blog posts that look at the bigger picture of dementia care.
Okay.
So there are some posts about dementia care gadgets from November 11th.
All right.
Then there are posts about AI's role in preventing dementia.
Interesting.
Those are from October 26th and November 18th.
Okay.
And then a post about how inequality can impact brain aging.
Wow.
And that one's from November 6th.
Okay.
So we're going from like this really individual level of care to these much bigger societal factors that could make someone more likely to develop dementia.
Yeah, like the things that influence whether or not you even get it in the first place.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So it's really interesting.
Definitely.
Like you have these gadgets that offer these really practical solutions for people who are already dealing with it.
Right.
But then on the other hand, you have AI that's being used for early detection and personalized interventions.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's like on the one hand, we're treating it, and then on the other hand, we're trying to like stop it from happening at all.
Yeah.
And then there's this whole other side of it, which is the inequality piece.
Right.
And that's where things like poverty and limited access to healthcare can really impact your brain health and make you more likely to develop dementia.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Especially in like certain communities that are already facing disadvantages.
It's like a domino effect almost.
Yeah, and I think it's just a good reminder that dementia is not just this medical issue.
Right.
It's like a societal issue, too.
It is.
Yeah. It's really powerful stuff. So to deal with dementia effectively, we need to approach it from all these different angles.
Absolutely.
Like we need to think about the individual's needs, but then we also need to think about the bigger picture of like how society is structured and how that impacts people's risk.
Definitely.
Now, I noticed that MCI and Beyond actually has content in Portuguese, too.
Oh, really?
Yeah, which really shows that dementia is this global issue.
Yeah, for sure.
So some of the posts are basically the same as the English content.
Okay.
Like the stuff about Ozempic and the holiday gift guide. But then there's also some unique content just in Portuguese.
Wow.
Like they have some articles on orthomolecular medicine.
Orthomolecular medicine?
Yeah, it's a type of alternative medicine that focuses on like nutritional balance.
Interesting.
So it's really cool to see how they approach dementia care in different parts of the world.
Yeah, like what are the different ways people are thinking about this?
Totally. And it just emphasizes how important it is to like consider these different perspectives and ways of treating dementia.
Definitely.
Since it's such a widespread problem.
Right.
All right, so we've gone through a lot.
Yeah, we have.
What do you think are the big takeaways from MCI and Beyond?
Well, I think this blog is more than just like a source of information. I think it makes you really think about dementia in a new way.
I agree.
Like it encourages us to think about all the different things that influence our understanding of dementia.
Yeah.
Whether that's personal experiences or scientific research or technology or even just like how our society is set up.
Yeah, like all those different layers we were talking about.
Exactly.
So I think it's safe to say that this blog is a catalyst for deeper thinking about dementia.
I agree.
And I think it's important for everyone to be thinking about this.
Yeah.
So I want to leave our listeners with a question.
Okay.
After this deep dive into MCI and Beyond, how are you thinking about dementia now?
That's a good question.
Like, has your personal approach to understanding and addressing dementia changed at all? I encourage you to keep exploring MCI and Beyond.
Yeah.
And like dive into the topics that were most interesting to you.
Absolutely. There's so much to learn.
Yeah, there really is.
Exactly.